Hi, welcome everyone. If I could get your attention, please. Okay. So welcome to the 2024 Path to Professionalism event sponsored by the School of Management. My name is Taylor Evans. I'm a freshman majoring in business administration with an emphasis in marketing. I am a School of Management brand ambassador, and I'm also the secretary of the American Marketing Association. Also assisting with tonight's events are Lex Swain and Janine Zayad. Janine is a senior majoring in business administration as well, with an emphasis in finance, and she'll be introducing our keynote speaker tonight. Lex is a sophomore, also majoring in business administration, and she'll be our MC for the end of the raffle. She'll be giving away some exciting prizes, so make sure you stay until the end for your chance to win. Now I'd like to invite Dean Gerhardt to welcome our keynote speaker, alumni, guests, and students.
Thank you. Thank you, Taylor. I'm also a senior, but of a different kind. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. This is an exciting time. Most of you will be graduating pretty soon. Who will be graduating in May? Yeah, quite a few. The rest are juniors, so that time will come pretty soon also. It's an exciting time. You'll be starting your careers. You will be working remotely or working in an office. You will be working with AI or against AI. You will be working 60 hours probably, or maybe just 20 hours. Who knows, right? You read a lot of studies everywhere in the public media, in the trade journals about what the future of work is going to look like. The reality is nobody really knows, right? So whenever anybody tells you what your future work will look like, don't believe them because nobody really knows. But one thing is for certain, and on the weekend, the Wall Street Journal actually had an interesting piece about the work of recent college grads. One thing is for sure, the first job that you're taking is really important. It could determine the rest of your career, because it could determine which industry you end up with. It could determine which networks you have access to. So it's really important to pick your first job right and to make sure that you enter the workforce with the right attitudes and with the right behaviors. And that's why we're doing this event, the Path to Professionalism. I don't like the name, by the way. It suggests that you weren't professional as students, which is not true, of course. All of you are incredibly professional. I'm always impressed by the students who I get to meet and talk to. But the Path to Professionalism is exactly designed to help you a little bit in planning your first steps into your entry-level careers. That's why we have the mentors at the table, and that's why we have a fantastic keynote speaker tonight who has built a wonderful career of her own, a very impressive career, and who will speak to you in much more depth than I ever could. So thanks again for being here tonight. Make the most of the evening, and back to you, Taylor. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm now going to pass it to Janine, who's going to share the agenda and also introduce our keynote speaker.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to the 26th annual Path to Professionalism event. So to go over the agenda, intros 5:30, as you know. 5:35, we're going to have our keynote speaker. Then we're going to be following it up with a Q&A. And then soon after, we're going to proceed with the alumni roundtable portion. Then after, we'll have the survey and raffle, and then we can close out, and you can take whatever food you want home. So next, I wanted to introduce Judith. She has a lifetime and a broad spectrum knowledge of many different, I'd say, specialties. She is a female entrepreneur, and she has definitely pivoted the way for us, and she is very involved with the School of Management, and so we are so happy to have her here today. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you? Good? So my name is Judith Sanchez. I am the general manager of LATAM in PM International. PM, maybe most of you don't know what is PM. PM is the first direct selling company in the world, in Europe. Number 8 worldwide. We are a 3 billion company. Last year we did 2.5, and this year we did 3. We are a German company based in Luxembourg, and we are just starting in Americas. This is my job 6 months ago. But today, I am also want to share that I'm an international executive with 32 years of experience. I am from Mexico. I started there my career working in Jafra Cosmetics, as you can see in all the information. I was in charge of Mexico. I opened Brazil in 4 years. We did break even. I worked with Central America. I came here to the United States 6 years ago as a CMO, and then I was the general manager of Jafra Cosmetics. I was the only female direct selling CEO in the direct selling industry, Latina, in this country. So very proud about that. So, but this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is how you are able to do that, how you start. And I think said something very important is, please take a look what is gonna be your first job. So today, we're gonna talk about the story. And then, I'm gonna talk about, after 32 years of a very successful career, suddenly, I didn't have a job. And I have to start searching, as some of you are gonna start searching. And it's hard, but I can tell you some of the tips. And I'm in a better place now. So, I started my career again, as I said, 32 years ago. I was a student at the university, and I always try to do my best. So you never know who is watching you. Just a comment for some of you that just arrived and were just sitting there. These kind of events, it's a networking, so take advantage, because maybe the person that is next to you is the one who's gonna help you in your future. So that's what I did always. So one of my teachers invited me to be part of an internship. And when I was in the 3rd grade of the university, I went to an internship in educations. And I started working there, and I worked there from 1 year. I just loved that part. I was working with, let's say, with the president of the country and all the education. I was working on what does a student have to study if they want to graduate in elementary or in high school, or what is the future for universities. I was just investing on or deciding which research we were going to support and whatever. I was super happy. And suddenly, they invited me to go to Jafra and start all over again as a trainee. I decided to start all over again as a trainee. And I love, because I wanted not to be always in the public sector, I wanted to be in the private sector. Why? Because I knew that if I was only in the public sector, when there was changes in government, there was changing in my career. And I wanted to have the control of my career. Does it make sense? Yes? So I went to the private sector, and I started as a trainee. Then I became a coordinator, general manager, sales, director of training and communications, and finally, the second on board, the VP, commercial VP, in charge of the full operation of $600 million, and also more than 300 employees, and more than half of distributors just in one country, and then Brazil, and then the other ones. Super successful. Then I moved to United States as a CMO, and I always ask, why me, right? Why? Maybe my English is not perfect. Maybe you can see, and I'm sure, for sure, I know that you are watching me and say, why is she able to do all those kind of things? Let me give you the answer. When I asked that I was always curious, always asking questions, trying to understand. We were discussing here about marketing. What I love most about marketing is trying to understand others' brain, how do they react, and how to change that behavior to do, just to try to convince them that what I have is the right thing for them, right? But coming from an ethical point of view. So that's, I think, one of the things that I have, that I always ask questions, always very proactive, always looking for more, always looking for improve. And that was part of my career. Then I came here to the United States, and it was absolutely great. I remember that I took the operation in the United States was decreasing, and just in 6 months, we achieved 300% growth. Double-digit growth during COVID. I was very proud because I didn't have to fire anybody. I was able to keep all the staff during COVID time. And suddenly, what I didn't know is that they asked me to take the control of the United States because the plan was to sell the company. So my role was to make it more profitable. I grew the company 3 times, imagine that. And I didn't know that was the plan. Suddenly the company has to be, we sold the company, and it was very interesting. It was a very difficult time because I have to sign an NDR. And in that NDR, if I said anything about the sale of the company, I was going to jail. To jail, imagine. You have to manage all the stress. And at the same time, you have to keep the growth of the company. So the company was sold to a Mexican company, and they decided to change completely the strategy and to move all the headquarters that originally were here in Thousand Oaks to Mexico. And being first in a private company and then moving to public company, it's hard. Why do you think that it's really hard to go into a public company? Anybody? I know that I have people from accounting here. Business? Why? You can imagine, yeah, go, thank you. Stock market, absolutely. And the pressure of the stock market, yeah. Then it's terrible, but you have to see the stock every single day. And you have to beat the market. You have to make the business just super profitable. And the only word that is important is profit. So sometimes you have to take decisions as a general manager that you don't like. And you have to take decisions, your employees, your sales force, and whatever. So I decided it was not my time to continue in that. I understood that for me, the most important part was to stay in the United States with my family, with my daughter, my son, she's here. And it was a very tough decision. 32 years working in the same company, super successful. And suddenly, no job. And I wanted to stay here. So how do you start searching? I never searched for a job. I was always chosen. I was never, people was like calling me just to come and work with me. How do you start? So the way that I start, it was like, first of all, very clear about what I wanted. And sometimes it's difficult, isn't it? Yes or no? Are you awake? Really? Or you're sleeping? Too much pizza? Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't, I didn't know. And I'm older than you. I'm supposed to know, no? And I didn't know. I didn't know if I wanted to continue working in direct selling, if I wanted to work in cosmetics, if I wanted to work, like just forget about everything. Let's just enjoy life for a while or go to the academy. I didn't know. And that was one of the most difficult parts. And I have to have a lot of clarity. So I hire a coach. I have so many coaches. In my life, I have so many coaches. And then he said, what she said is, you have to decide what is exactly what you are looking for. And even if I bring my papers, because there were some important notes that we just discussed, and she was asking, what is the kind of company that you want to work? Have you ever asked those questions? What is a company? Is it mid-cap, a large organization? Is it a public company? Is it a private company? Is it a niche market? Do you know, guys, where do you want to work? Yes or no? Oh my God, I see the faces like, I don't have a clue what she's talking about. Have you ever asked yourself those questions? Those questions are really, really, really important. What is the profile and what is the culture of the company that you want to work with? And I started just creating the answers or giving the answers to those questions. And I understood, one, I didn't want to work in a public company. That was me. Second, I didn't want to work in a company that is starting, because sometimes they don't have money. I wanted to go to a mid-cap organization. I understood that I wanted to go to a company that was really inclusive and that respect everybody. The most important thing that I knew is the kind of leadership that I was looking for. And I created my list. And then when I create my list of all the things that I wanted, and this is very important, if some of you can take a note, it will be very important for all of you. I create my ideal company. And then I start searching for that company. That was the first part. Second part, elevator speech. Have you ever heard about elevator speech? 3, just key ideas. 40 seconds, no more than that. And then I start searching, of course, LinkedIn, logarithms. Of course, you have to hire somebody to have the keywords, and all those kind of things are really, really, really important. But that is something that you can just do and you can just create. But for me, what was the most important part of this story? It's really hard to look for a job. And the most difficult part is the emotional part. Because sometimes you are going to send your CV and nobody's going to answer you. And you are going to be rejected. And sometimes you don't find anything. And you feel that you are a failure. And you feel bad. And you are ashamed with your family, and you feel like, oh my God. And if there's something that you can get from my speech today is, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay, and it's gonna happen. The most important thing is just to keep healthy. It's part of the job. It's gonna happen, you know? Isabella knows that there was some days that they were really, really hard, and I was like, no, I need to find a job now. It has been like 2 months, and I haven't get an interview. It's like nobody is talking to me. Imagine that coming from being a very important person, and suddenly nobody cares about you. So I was burning out myself, trying to send a lot of cover letters, a lot of LinkedIns, a lot of things, and I was not achieving any results. So what I learned is like, okay, I have to put small goals. Small goals. Every day I have a goal. My goal was maybe to search. When I felt that I was in not a good mood, I just stopped, went out, do something different, and just come back. But now I am in a better company, 3 billion. The other was 600 million. This is 3 billion. Now I'm not in charge of one country. I'm in charge of 20 countries. And now I just travel all around the world, And I work with people from all over the world, and I am in a better position. How I did it? Any clue? How I did it? And this is the most important thing, and it's called networking. Networking. There was a time that I was trying to understand something in the United States that I was not capable. Suddenly a book came into my hands. I read the book and I said, oh, I want to know this guy. I get to know this guy, and suddenly I was hiring him to help my team just to understand some things in trends in the industry. And guess what? Now he's my boss. Crazy, no? But the most important thing is networking. So, in conclusion, yes, you have to define, number one, exactly what you want. And it is not just like, I want to work in fashion. Okay, what kind? Is it shoes? Is it clothes? Is it makeup? What do you want? Because when you have a lot of experience in one area, one channel, they will take you to the same, you will go to the same. They will ask you for experience of 2 or 3 years. So please enroll in something that you really get in love with. That's important, because you are gonna have to work a lot of time. I love cosmetics, I just love them. It's like playing, it's like I was in a candy store, right? So that's number one, really understand what you want. Number two is do your homework, is define the profile of the company, start searching. There's a lot of headhunters. You can go to Stewart, you can go to Confer, you can go to a lot of these places where you can just go, put your CV, and they can just give you alerts. Or if you select a good company, that's okay. Go to whatever, Disney, whatever you want, and you can receive alerts. Use LinkedIn. LinkedIn Premium is good, and I don't receive any money, but you can send message to the people. You can connect, and some of them answer, some of them do not answer. Use your network always. Always, that's the most important thing, and keep yourself healthy. Understand, and I heard this phrase that I love, that it says, when somebody rejects you, do not think that you are rejected. Believe that you are protected. That's not your place. And sometimes I have to repeat myself that a lot, and that's okay. So enjoy the ride. I can tell you that the last lesson that I can tell you today is try different industries. Try different products in the beginning. That's okay, because then you will see what you love. But the most important is the first step, as Gerard said, because maybe you go to that place as me, and they stay forever, and that's part of your success. Today, the companies are looking for not only knowledge, but the most important thing is soft skills. And the most important soft skills that they are looking for is people creative that can solve problems. Because in today's world, we have so many problems to solve. And a lot of us, we are very lost. People that are directing the companies, very lost. So we are looking for people that help us to solve situations. So congratulate yourself when you graduate. And don't feel bad. It's gonna happen, but it's gonna be okay. The ride is amazing, and balance your life and your job. And that's okay if you want to be a CEO, or maybe just a manager, or be an entrepreneur. Everything is okay, as soon as you do what you love. And this is me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judith, for sharing your inspirational story with us. Now it's time to open up questions for the audience in the Q&A portion. So if you have any questions at all, please be sure to raise your hand, and Lex, as well as Taylor, will hand you a microphone so then you can ask your questions. If you have a question and you weren't able to get called on, stay and feel free to ask your questions afterwards. There is always an opportunity to talk one-on-one with our alumni and speaker. So that going forward, I'm going to pass it on to our first question.
Hi, good evening. Oh, is this on?
Hello.
Hi. So Judith, thank you for sharing your story. I am an MBA student and specializing in international business, and something that you do is you work internationally.
Yes.
What is your experience going to different countries and working with different teams, specifically with like different cultures? Like I know you mentioned you're from Mexico, but do you when working in Europe, how do you feel that the best approach is to working with a culture that's different from your own?
Thank you so much. This is a great question. So, the culture is completely different, completely. I can share with you that information that I have. Like, if you are working with the United States and you are working with Europe, it's just facts, numbers, just direct to the point. If you are talking to Latinos, first is the emotion, then is the numbers. You can do very good business in Latinos in a dinner or in a lunch. You will never do that with a German, right? It's just, so really you have to try to understand the culture. Now I'm working with people from Korea, and it's really, really interesting to see the way that they behave as a community, and then always have one person that receives the authority, and then if they believe that you have the authority, they can talk to you. But first you have to prove yourself. I remember when I started working with people from Asia, the first thing was they interviewed me. They were not my bosses, they were clients, but they interviewed me like for 3 hours. And then at the end they say, okay, we want to do business with you. Okay, I think you know what you need, or we need from you. It's like crazy. So, study, it's completely different. I always see the people, try to understand them, instead of just reacting from my soul, or from my own culture. So yeah, there's a lot of studies about that. But emotion and rational, yeah. Thank you. And listen, always listen. Always. The first time that I have this meeting with Germans, and then we finished the presentation, and like today, everybody was like, cuckoo, nothing. And then suddenly, they start to do like, and I said like, oh my God, we did something wrong. They were clapping, okay? So you have to learn all those kind of things. I can tell you, it's like, I remember the first time also I went to Germans, they said, please do not use open shoes, because that's lack of respect. So do your homework. And there's a lot of books to talk about culture. Thank you. Any other question? Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll take your mic. I'm Jada. I'm an undergraduate student. I'm graduating in May. What do you suggest you do if you don't know what you love yet? If you don't know what kind of company or industry you want to be in yet, but you're at that point, where you are applying to jobs, but you're like, what kind of jobs am I even looking for right now? And everybody's asking you, what do you want to do? And you're like,
and you don't know.
yeah, I'm like, I know I want to be in marketing. I don't know where that is, but what do you suggest from there?
Okay, thank you. That's also a very good question, and it happened to me. So for me, what was very helpful is to have a coach, to have somebody that was resonating without judging me, right? So it can be a teacher, it can be somebody like me, for example, to look for a mentor, somebody you trust, and then try to come to these events. Like, for example, you being here, it's really, really important. Maybe you have to think a little bit when you were a child. What things make you smile. Go back. Go back. And then you say, well, maybe toys. Well, there's huge companies about toys. And then just go to, talk to people that are in the same industry. And then you will figure out. And you are super young. If you make a mistake 2 or 3 years, that's okay. You can start all over again. It doesn't matter. Don't be like super stressed. You know what I'm saying? But I think for me, having a mentor is really, really, really important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? No? Nothing else. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again, Judith, for being with us. Earlier, a few days ago, she was in Mexico and then Colombia and came all the way to speak with us today. So another round of applause for Judith. So that conducts our Q&A portion. Thank you for all the questions. I hope you guys, if you have more questions, please see her afterwards. She's super nice. So now we will transition to the next segment. I will pass the microphone on to Taylor.
Thank you, Janine. Okay, so before we start, I want to say thank you to each of the rotational table leads for volunteering their time to share their experiences and all their advice that they have to offer about their job search and career so far. As they were once in our shoes, and there is so much to learn from their experiences. The numbers will be on the table, so don't worry. I know they aren't right now, but you will see the numbers. Personally, I am looking forward to gaining insight into others' career paths in the corporate world. I hope you can gain insight into your industry of interest too. The table you are currently sitting at will be your first table of the night. After 15 minutes, we will alert the room and ask you to move to the next number. Please know if you are table number 10, your next table will be table number 1. We will talk to you again in 15 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Lex. I'm a sophomore majoring in business administration with an emphasis on innovation and entrepreneurship. I also recently just started a position as a SOM brand ambassador. I'm looking forward to what's to come. I'm happy to be with you all here today to host our survey and raffle. I want to know, how are you guys feeling today? You feeling good about your discussions? Hopefully everyone ended on a high note. First, I want to say, as one of the School of Management's annual events, we want to hear your feedback, what you liked, what you didn't like, maybe how we could improve. So if you could just please scan the QR code up there. They're also available on the brochure on the tables if you can't reach this one. While you're filling out the survey, I'm going to share some information with you guys. Okay, so first, I want to start off by saying after spring break, Cal Lutheran Career Services will be hosting their annual Career Intern and Expo event. This event is going to be happening on Wednesday, March 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is a great opportunity if you're looking for an internship or full-time job in your field, and this event, Paths to Professionalism, is a great way to prepare for this event. You can scan the QR code up there, to learn more. Also, I'd like to mention, if you haven't connected with the School of Management on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, feel free to do so. Please do so. Also, feel free to connect with the Dean on LinkedIn, and follow us on Instagram for up-to-date news and events. Also, I would like to introduce our brand new Brand Ambassadors program. We have 2 videos that have recently gone viral. It's this video on the far left and this video in the middle. You can scan the QR code up there to learn more about our program or maybe even join. Not only do we create viral content, but we are also working with local cafes and restaurants to have students receive a 10% discount. So if you would like to keep up to date, please scan the QR code or follow us on any social media. It would be greatly appreciated.
So the survey will be closing soon, so please get your answers in, or your feedback in, sorry, not answers. Lastly, all of the hosts you heard from today were in clubs or are still in clubs. And if you're interested in joining a club, here are some that the School of Management is hosting. We have the Accounting Association, American Marketing Association, which I think Taylor mentioned she was the secretary, sorry. We also have Business of Sports, Delta Sigma Pi, ICMA, the IT Club, Latinx Student Association, Startup at CLU, and Women in Business. Oh, and there's the link to visit all of our clubs, learn more, how to get involved. Okay, and now we're going to announce the winners. The first prize is going to be a $50 Trader Joe's gift card. Oh, sorry. It's okay. And then the second prize is going to be a school management water bottle, and then the third is going to be a choice of either school management hoodie or a school management t-shirt. Okay, so we're going to do the first prize for the $50 Trader Joe's gift card. Okay, so it looks like our first winner is Nyora Abraham. Where are you? Raise your hand. Okay, perfect. Congratulations. Okay, so we're going to do the second winner, and this next prize is a school management water bottle. Okay, so it looks like it's Donovan Stover. Congratulations. Do you want to do a hoodie? So the last prize is going to be a School of Management hoodie. Okay, so our winner is Evan Van Claveren. You want to come up here? Before you all leave, I want to say thank you for coming, and we hope to see you at all School of Management events at Cal Lutheran. Thank you. Have a great night.